Every morning, your hair tells the truth before you do. You step into the shower, run your fingers through it, and there it is again. More in your hand than yesterday, more in the drain than last month. Then later, in a certain light, the bathroom mirror, a photo someone took without warning, a shop window when you were not even thinking about it, you see the part looks wider, the temples look different, the volume that used to be there has quietly packed its bags and left. And if you are over 60, most people will tell you the same lazy thing. Aging, hormones, genetics. End of story. No, your hair does not just disappear for no reason. Thin hair after 60 is very often not a scalp problem at all. It is a gut problem. And the cheap drink that helps fix it is plain kefir. 1 glass at night from the refrigerated section for less than $2 a week. I am telling you that right now so you know you clicked the right video. But stay with me, because if you do not understand why kefir works, why the timing matters, and what else is quietly strangling your follicles from the inside, you will drink it for 6 days, declare it useless, and miss the whole point. And the second thing I am going to show you, the blood test number most women were never told to ask for, explains why so many women are told their blood work is normal, while their hair keeps disappearing anyway. Now first, let me ask you something. How many of you have bought a shampoo, a supplement, or some expensive little scalp bottle, because the label promised fuller hair? Most of them are selling hope in a prettier container, because if the real problem is in the gut, rubbing things on the scalp is like polishing a plant pot when the roots are starving. That is the mistake almost everyone makes first. They treat the place where the hair comes out, instead of the place where the hair gets fed. Let me explain this simply. Your hair follicles are like the last houses at the end of a delivery route. Every day your body is sending out trucks loaded with nutrients, oxygen, protein, minerals, all the building materials needed to keep things running. But the brain gets first delivery, the heart gets first delivery, the liver, the kidneys, the immune system, all of them are ahead in line. Hair is at the very end of the street. So when something goes wrong with absorption, your body starts cutting from the end of the route first. It is not going to short the heart to save your hairstyle. It is going to short your hair. That is why your hair is such a good messenger. Your hair does not lie. And this is exactly why age is such a useless explanation. Age is not a mechanism. It is just a word people use when they do not want to explain the mechanism. Yes, hair thinning gets more common with age. Fine. But why? What changed? What stopped getting delivered? What system slowed down? In a huge number of women, the answer starts in the gut. Your gut is not just a food tube. It is more like a garden. When the good bacteria are thriving, the soil is rich, the roots are strong, and nutrients get absorbed properly. Iron gets in, zinc gets in, protein gets broken down the right way. The raw materials for thick, healthy hair actually make it into the bloodstream. But when that garden gets damaged, after antibiotics, years of low-fiber eating, stress, processed food, poor sleep, and yes, just getting older too, the good bacteria thin out, the gut lining gets irritated, absorption drops, inflammation rises, and now the follicles at the end of the delivery route are getting crumbs. This is where plain kefir comes in. Kefir is not just another trendy health drink. It is basically a moving truck full of useful bacteria. It repopulates the gut with exactly the kind of workers your digestive system has been missing. And when those workers come back, 2 things start happening. First, your gut lining gets calmer and tighter, which means nutrients stop leaking past in useless form and start getting absorbed properly again. Second, that quiet background inflammation starts to come down, and inflammation is one of the biggest reasons follicles stop growing properly and go into resting mode too soon. That is why the drink matters. Now here is the first thing most women get wrong with kefir. They buy the sweet, fruity, dessert-looking version with more sugar than a biscuit and think they are doing the same thing. No, you want plain kefir, the boring one, the one with the shortest shelf life. The shorter the shelf life, the more alive the bacteria usually are. And you want it at night, not randomly in the middle of the day, because your gut does a lot of its repair work while you sleep. So one glass of plain Kefir before bed is not random, it is strategic. And before I go to the next mistake, I need to say this. If your hair loss is patchy, with bald spots, not general thinning, that is a different issue and needs a dermatologist. If your hair is falling fast, and you are also suddenly losing weight, feeling freezing cold all the time, or the outer edge of your eyebrows is thinning too, that needs proper thyroid testing. That is not the same picture. But for the slow, all over, where is my volume going kind of thinning, keep listening. Now the second thing women get told all the time is biotin. Biotin for hair, biotin gummies, biotin shampoo, biotin everything. But true biotin deficiency in healthy adults is actually rare. So if you have been swallowing biotin for months, and your hair still looks like it is quietly resigning, biotin was probably never the real issue. And that is because the real issue is often not one magic vitamin, it is the entire supply line. Which brings me to the blood test almost nobody explains properly. Ferritin, not iron in general, not just hemoglobin. Ferritin. Ferritin is your iron savings account. It is the stored iron your body keeps in reserve, and hair follicles are very picky about iron. They often start struggling long before your regular blood work looks alarming. So a woman can be told, your iron is fine, everything is normal, while her ferritin is sitting too low for healthy hair growth. In other words, the body has enough iron to avoid a red flag on a lab sheet, but not enough to keep wasting it on something as low priority as hair. Again, the body is practical, not sentimental. It will save your organs before it saves your hairstyle. So if your hair is thinning, and nobody has checked ferritin specifically, ask for ferritin by name. A lot of women find out the missing piece was sitting there the whole time, just never tested properly. And here is what makes this even more frustrating. Even if you do eat iron-rich foods, if your gut is inflamed and not absorbing well, the iron still may not arrive where it is needed. That is why the gut piece comes first. You cannot out-supplement a leaky, irritated digestive system. Pouring nutrients in at the top does not help much if the doorway is broken. The third thing quietly sabotaging hair after 60 is protein absorption. And I know what some of you are thinking already. But I eat protein. Maybe you do. But eating protein and absorbing the building blocks from it are not the same thing. Hair is made mostly of protein. So if your stomach acid is lower, which gets more common with age, and if your gut lining is inflamed, the body stops breaking protein down efficiently into the exact little pieces the follicles need. It is like buying bricks for a house and then never unloading the truck. The materials are technically present, but they are not reaching the build site. This is why women can be eating chicken, eggs, yogurt, all the right sounding things and still end up with finer hair. The problem is not always the plate. Sometimes the problem is the gut doing a bad job with what is already on the plate. Now the fourth thing, and honestly this one makes me a little angry because it gets dismissed so casually, is stress. Not one stressful Tuesday. I mean the kind of stress women carry for years without even calling it stress anymore. Worry, responsibility, bad sleep, caring for everyone else, grief that never really got processed. The body keeps score, and your hair follicles know it. High cortisol, your stress hormone, pushes hair follicles out of the growth phase and into resting mode too soon. So fewer hairs are actively growing at the same time. That is why chronic stress often causes that diffuse thinning, where the hair just looks generally smaller somehow. Less generous, less alive, and stress damages the gut too. So now you have the perfect little disaster. Stress hurts the gut absorbs less, inflammation rises, follicles get fewer supplies and more stress signals, hair thins. Then women panic, which of course creates more stress. It is a lovely loop. Very rude, very common. That is why the nighttime kefir matters so much. It is not just feeding the gut, it is creating a nightly ritual that says to the body, we are repairing now. And if you really want to help that repair, pair the kefir with 2 minutes of slow breathing before sleep. Nothing dramatic, just slower, deeper breathing to tell your nervous system it can stop acting like there is a fire in the building. Now let me tell you the biggest mistake of all, because this is the one that makes women quit right before things start working. They expect the mirror to change first. It usually does not. The first sign this is working is often the shower. Less hair coming out, less in the brush, less in your hand after washing. That is win number one. Then, after a few more weeks, you start seeing those short, fine little baby hairs around the temples or the part. Not glamorous, not dramatic, but that is the regrowth phase. That is the scalp quietly saying thank you, I can work with this. And that is why I need you to understand the timeline. Not 1 week, not 3 days. A few weeks for the fallout to slow, then more time for visible density. Hair is not a dramatic organ. It changes slowly, then all at once, quietly, then obviously. So let me give you the simple version of what to do. First, plain kefir every night before bed. 1 glass, plain, short shelf life, never heated. Second, feed the bacteria you just brought in. Real oats in the morning are excellent for this. Not sugary little sachet pretending to be breakfast. Real oats. The kefir brings in the workers. The oats feed them so they actually stay. Third, if your hair is thinning and nobody has checked ferritin, ask for it. Not iron. Not just hemoglobin. Ferritin. Fourth, make sure protein is actually showing up in your day in a useful way. Eggs, fish, yogurt, chicken, lentils, whatever works for you. And if digestion feels weak, bone broth is a very useful support because it is easier on the system. Fifth, stop pouring sugar and ultra-processed snacks into the evening. Those foods keep inflammation high, and high inflammation is bad news for hair. A woman cannot spend all evening inflaming her gut and then expect 1 glass of kefir to perform a miracle by morning. So if you want the shortest possible version of this whole video, here it is. Thin hair after 60 is very often not about your shampoo, and not just about getting older. It is a signal from a supply chain that got disrupted. Usually the gut is a big part of that. When the gut is inflamed, you absorb less, inflammation rises, and hair follicles at the end of the root get shorted first. Plain kefir at night helps rebuild the bacteria that repair the gut lining, calm the inflammation, and improve absorption. That is why this cheap drink works where expensive scalp products so often fail. Your hair does not lie. It is telling you something about what is happening inside your body. And once you hear it properly, you can finally do something that makes sense. Comment kefir if you want me to make a simple hair regrowth shopping list and evening routine for this.